Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Rick, for the bell ringing. Good morning. Hi, Alex. Well, happy Pride Month, my friends. Oh, so much fun. So much fun. We've got a great month of programming coming up here. Good morning. I am Reverend Karen LeBlanc. Welcome to First Unitarian Church in New Bedford. We are a beloved community of people who believe that everyone is worthy of respect, that science is real, that the democratic process is a sacred thing, that we are all part of an interconnected web, and that the light and energy that we share and put out makes a difference in this world. We are people of purpose, and we have the stickers to prove it that say it out there, available for $3 today. So if what you hear today resonates with you, we hope you will consider becoming part of this way cool family of seekers and keepers of this long and cool dream that is our church, my friends. First Unitarian in New Bedford recognizes that the land that we inhabit and enjoy sits on the unceded ancestral land of the Wampanoag, the people of the first light, and we actively commit ourselves to the process of working to dismantle the legacy of colonialism and oppression of our country's native people and all who have been marginalized. Now today we have our annual flower communion, so if you've brought flowers, hold on to them. If you haven't, don't panic. We have plenty. I bought 2 beautiful rainbow bouquets yesterday, so everyone will have a chance to bring a flower up. Now we will light our chalice. Where is our Chancellor Brody? Take your time, Brody. We don't have too much music today, so we have plenty of time. I'm going to stretch it out. Did you win? Tied the game. All right, good enough. Words for our chalice lighting this morning are from former UUA President, Reverend Susan Frederick Gray. As we light our chalice this morning, may we be mindful of how radical and powerful love is, and how dangerous those who fear perceive love to be. May we know how necessary and essential it is to keep alive the message of universal love, of universal humanity and dignity, of reverence for life, all creation in our hearts and in our actions, because we are now among the keepers of that flame, my friends. So we have a responsive reading today. Our service is going to be a little different because of the flower communion being part of it. Hi, Meredith. It's so good to see your face. So our opening words are a responsive reading this morning, and it is printed in your order of service. So if you will answer with the bold, I will read the regular type. There will be a brightness to this day, even if there be but cloud and rain outdoors. There will be color and fragrance to this day, even if there be but gray and chill outdoors. There will be praise and laughter to this day, even if there be but difficulty elsewhere in the world. Today, let there be brightness. Today, let there be praise and laughter. Spirit of the flowers blooming, be with us. Amen, my friends. And now we are going to sing a cappella, because that's how we have to roll in June. Our illustrious music director has gone north for the summer, and he will be back in September, but you will be happy to know We have extra money in the budget next year for guest musicians during June, so we don't have to struggle like this anymore. So we're gonna sing. Yes, Brody, you have a question? You're gonna help? All right. That's right, Brody's been taking music. Well, you better practice. By next June, we will pay you to play the piano. You do need to practice, yes. Okay, we're gonna sing number 188, and I will just lead it a cappella. We have other adventures in singing today, too. So yes, please rise as you are willing and able. This is an easy one to sing. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lovers of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. We'll sing it 3 times. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lovers of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. One more time. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lovers of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Now, take the time to greet one another. Say a special hello to our friends that are new here. I love this love. Boy, do I love this kind of love. Now you can remain standing if you would, and we are going to read together our covenant, which is printed in your order of service. We come together as a religious community, upholding freedom of conscience, right relationship, and the inherent worth of all people. We value our diversity and pledge to care for one another in the spirit of compassion, to speak and listen to each other with respect, and to promote justice and kindness in the world. Please be seated. We turn on the microphones. Now is the time in our service where we share with each other our joys, our sorrows, our concerns. So if you have something you'd like to share, please come up, tell us your name, and briefly tell us what's going on. My first thing that I have to say, though, today is I am so joyful. We had a great Pride Day yesterday at Buttonwood Park, right next to UU Fairhaven. It was awesome. Thank you, Eileen and Izzy and Tony Ann and David and Jessica and I and Jess's cousin Sam or something. Everybody had a great time, and it was just a great time. So we just loving to do that. And we'll be in Fairhaven next Sunday, and we'll be back here for AHA next week. Yes. So amen to that. Great time. There were 7 churches at Pride Day yesterday. Come on up here.
Good morning. My name is Mary Raposer, and I'm hoping that you will all be willing to send some love and blessings to my son, Sean, who's having some struggles right now.
Certainly do
First, I also want to say, Buttonwood Pride was amazing. Got to see some awesome people and made some great memories. And also, Izzy's not here today. He's kind of recovering, but yesterday he and I went to see his cousin's grad party. He's graduating high school. His name is Tyson. So we got to spend the afternoon having a bunch of food with his family and stuff, and just having a good time with his family.
Next Saturday, I think it starts at 12, the Friends of Buttonwood Park have their annual coffee morning. If you're walking in Buttonwood Park tomorrow morning, please stop by and have a cup of coffee and meet with the people who work in the park, strictly voluntarily, and it's near the greenhouse. So, hope to see you there.
All right, that sounds great, though. Thank you.
Well, my happiness is that although our truck has died, Stephen and I have survived our truck accident with small aches and pains, so we're fine. And I'm so happy that this is Flower Communion, because flowers are my life.
We are so glad you're all right, Deb and Steve. We don't know what we would do without this whole church would go under if we lost you.
Hi, my name is Camilla, and I started my day listening to a book. It's called The Amen Effect, and it's by Rabbi Sharon Bruce. And it's a beautiful book because she really talks about how true healing comes in recognizing the angel in each and every one of us. And it was very moving to listen to that. So I highly recommend it.
I'm usually upstairs by this point, but we're doing the flower communion, so I'm here. So I thought I'd share a little baby update. Layla is now 29 weeks and doing good. We took a birthing class. It was very overwhelming and scary, but good. And yeah, due August 16th, so.
Can't wait. Good luck with that, Maury. We're praying for you. We're pushing for you. So I lit 2 final candles, as is our practice here, one for all the joys and sorrows we keep in our hearts today, and one for everyone out there that doesn't have a safe and loving place like this to share their joys and sorrows with. Okay. So, our story for all ages today is about the flower communion. 101 years ago this week, in 1923, Norbert and Maya Čapek were ministers of a Unitarian congregation in Prague, Czechoslovakia. Most of their congregation had left other religions to become Unitarians, and many of those people did not want to be reminded of the repressive religions that they had left behind. So Norbert and Maya decided to create a new ritual for their congregation, and they called it a flower communion. So one Sunday in June, they asked everyone in the congregation to bring a flower to the worship service. When people arrived on Sunday morning, all the flowers were gathered in vases, and Norbert said a short blessing over the flowers. Thus, the flowers became a symbol of what it means to be a human being. Every flower different, every flower beautiful in its own way. And at the end of the worship service, everyone went up and took a flower, a different flower, from the one that they brought home with them. so as a symbol of their connection to everyone in the congregation. So we are going to have our own flower communion today, right here, to make this connection with each other, and in a larger way to connect with Unitarian congregations around the country and around the world who are also doing their flower communion right around this time of year. So as we do this today, I'd sort of like you to keep that in mind of how many people around are doing the same thing that we are. We don't share a lot of ritual in our Unitarian denomination, but this is one that we've created for ourselves, and it's really nice. So keep that in your mind. Stretch out your energy to all those other UUs out there that will be sending out their energy to us. So many of our churches are small in numbers, so this is a really nice way to enhance each other and connect with each other in a small way. And when small groups get together, what happens? Powerful things, right? So that's what we would like to do today. And we are also blessed to have Maya Chapik herself served our church at the North Church in the 1950s, which is why we have a room named after her downstairs, the Maya Chapik room. So take time later on to take a look at her picture, if you will. So in just a moment, I will ask you to come forward. So we have flowers. If you don't have a flower with you, we have flowers in the back, and there's some flowers in the front. Grab a flower and come on, and we're gonna let the kids go first so that they can get this done and go out and run around and have a good time. So I'm gonna come down. Riley, we have Riley at our Friday yesterday, and sweet. Ron just put a dandelion in there. And I noticed that there was one other one too, but it makes me think of Bob Piper, because Bob Piper made a special effort every year to make sure he brought a dandelion, because he said, for this humble flower gives us so much. He did have a lovely garden too.
I'm sorry, Karen. I was driving to church. I saw the sign for flower communion. Started driving up Hawthorne Street looking for a dandelion.
I know that they're not hard to find this time of year, right? So I'm going to read now the consecration that Dr. Norbert Chapek wrote. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. Yes, indeed, Dr. Chapek, yes, indeed. Listen now to Dr. Chapek's flower communion prayer. So let's take a little centering breath. In the name of Providence, which implants in the seed the future of the tree and in the hearts of men and women, the longing for people living in love, in the name of the highest, in whom we move and who makes the mother and father, the brother and sister what they are, in the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrificed their lives to hasten the coming of peace and justice. Let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real brothers and sisters, regardless of any kind of bar which estranges one from the other. In this holy resolution, may we be strengthened, knowing that we are God's family, that one family, the spirit of love, unites us, and may we endeavor for a more perfect and more joyful life. Amen. We will have a moment of silence. So our music today is from PS 22 chorus. I have been turned on to these kids singing with their choral teacher, and I am absolutely in love, and I think I really wanted to share this today with you.
is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, automatic comes to me. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be.
That didn't make your day. Where are they here? I believe they're in New York. It says PS 22. So
I'm gonna start
assume
cutting
that that's-
carbs. I need to drop my belly fat.
If you want to drop this, start eating more of these. Starving ourselves, eating salads, and cutting out carbs. Doing this never works and only leads to more frustration.
Jeepers. That's why we pay a music director. Okay. So yeah, that was so beautiful. I love those kids, and we're going to sing our closing hymn with them. Okay. Oh, the offertory. Now is the time in our service. You're going to take care of it. Now is the time in our service where we ask you for your very kind donations toward the many good works of this church. And we sure do thank you. We are coming up on the end of our church year, as you know, so if you have a balance left on your pledge, that it's supposed to be paid before July 1st, so if you would be just rushing those checks right into us before our next fiscal year, Deb will really appreciate that. Okay. So I'm just going to I'm not even going to mess around with YouTube until I have to again. We can talk amongst ourselves for just a minute. Go ahead, you guys. We're going to hum. I need a kazoo. That's what I need, a kazoo for moments like this. Darn it. Oh. All right. Now that that's done, we can move into sermon territory here. So one of the practices that I found most intriguing when I first came to Unitarianism was that most churches, at least on the East Coast, have a church year, like a school year, and we take the summers off from what we call our regular services. We might have some informal gatherings, some lay-led conversations or meditations, or speakers from the local community during summer, but mostly we relax. And that concept blows some people's minds. I think it's a great idea, and not just because I get 2 months off. And this idea fits really neatly into our theme for June, which is the gift of renewal. And we all love our church and our community here, so hopefully we will have some kind of Sunday gatherings to keep us going over the summer, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But UUs have found that giving everyone, including the minister, a chance to recharge over the summer makes us more focused, dedicated, and happy people when we return in the fall. Just as it was when we were in grade school, right? In any kind of school. We need a break before the cycle starts again, and to process all that we've taken in. I think that's a really important and healthy thing to do. So we Unitarians also revere nature as a source of spiritual inspiration. We think it's a great idea to go spend your Sunday mornings in summer somewhere that you can commune with nature. Go look around, a little venturing out and appreciating the possibilities for random relaxation that the summertime offers create opportunities for a different kind of spiritual growth and physical and mental renewal. Nature is a free resource that we are so blessed to have in huge abundance here. And I think the real sin is not taking advantage of that while we have it. In many cultures, including certainly here in our country, there's this push to always be doing something, right? And that's fine and productive to a point. But remember when George Carlin talked about our stuff, that our house is mostly a place for our stuff, and we seem to have more stuff than ever, but it's not even the material stuff that Carlin was talking about now. It's like all this stuff that fills our lives, things we have to do or feel like we have to do. Everybody is so busy all the time. There's just so much stuff. And I'm guilty of it myself. So this is no dressing down for busy people, believe me. I'm only asking you to stop and smell the flowers sometimes. Remember that old saying? It's a real thing. You know why they tell you to stop and smell the flowers? Because it's sunny out and it's beautiful and the flowers are in bloom. Slow down for just a minute. Listen to those spiritual messages that we miss because of our sense of responsibility is an incredible distraction. We UUs also believe that self-care is a really important factor that sharpens our ability to care for others. Too many people are just in overdrive all the time, and we wonder why there is so much depression and anxiety in our lives and in the world. It is no sin to slow down. It's a blessing if you can make time to sit down and just look around you, loving the world and being grateful for what you have. That is a powerful, natural antidepressant, my friends. Let yourself have at least one day for you this summer, if you can. Let that be your summer homework. A day to do only and exactly what you want to do. Maya Angelou said, every person needs to take one day away, a day in which one consciously separates the past from the future. Jobs, family, employers, and friends can exist for one day without any one of us. And if our egos permit us to confess, they could exist eternally in our absence. Each person deserves a day, a way in which no problems are confronted, no solutions are searched for. Each of us needs to withdraw from the cares which will not withdraw from us. End quote. We need to withdraw from the cares that will not withdraw from us. And that's a powerful way to think about the spirit of renewal, right? I had to learn this the hard way through some long periods of depression and counseling and medication. But I had to learn to just take time for myself to process and actually relax. I went through hell in my divorce and when my son died. And despite the wonderful love and care that I get from this community, I tried to just work through the pain. I thought that distraction was the key. But that only works for a brief period of time, I can tell you that. Things get bottled up, and we cannot just last like that. We can't last when everything is just there. So 4 or 5 years ago, some friends of mine gave me the use of their little house up at the foot of the White Mountains in New Hampshire. And it was a place that they bought mostly for snowboarding in the wintertime. So it's empty pretty much all summer. That sounded like a really great opportunity to me. So they said, sure, Karen, you could go up for however long you want. So that's what I do. And I go alone. This is what renews me and charges my battery every year so I can come back to you in the fall with a mission and a purpose in my heart. It's where I go to withdraw from the cares that will not withdraw from me. And the thing is, it isn't just because it's beautiful up there and there's a pool. It's the real gift. The real gift is being not responsible at all for anyone, for human or beast. And I have a plethora of humans and beasties in my life. And I go alone, not just because I want to process for myself all that has come to pass over the church year, but because I don't even want the responsibility of somebody asking me, hey, what do you think we should do today? And having to give an answer. The real beauty isn't just these gorgeous mountains, which honestly give me a little vertigo, but the fact that out there in the boonies, the Wi-Fi and telephone is totally sketchy and just might not work for days. Love that for me. You want to know how I renew myself and come back with a smile on my face in September? I grab a short stack of books from the library. Fiction only is my summertime rule. And I usually read every one, lounging at the picnic table or by the pool. I take a long drive every day, meandering with absolutely no goal in sight but to just look around and stop by every weird little cemetery I see and take a walk there. I also visit every local UU church I can find up there, of course, just for fun. Mad River Coffee House is where I go every day for the best coffee and breakfast on the East Coast, I'm pretty sure. I stop by the Moose Cafe for their famous 5-rum punch before I go back to my little cabin and build a fire to gaze at until I can't gaze anymore. What I do is nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I have found it to be the best thing I can actually do for myself. And at first, it gave me more anxiety to let go and just assure myself that the world actually was not going to fall apart if I looked away from it for a while. But with a little practice, I found that doing nothing was possible for me and truly healing, and it was like an epiphany. And you know, by the time I'm going home, I'm so ready to go home. I miss my humans and my beasties after, a week or 10 days. And I don't want to be without them, those who I love and who love me, not for long. I'm so blessed to have the opportunity to do that. And I know most people don't have that opportunity, so I know how lucky I am. So before we wrap this up, I want to look at that other side of not having services in the summertime. And this is a tight community here. This place is our Sunday home, right? And not everyone gets to have time off or wants to be alone. In fact, a lot of people are alone too much. And they get desperate for the kind of spiritual community we have here. This is a place of refuge, right? So here's my idea for this summer, since we don't have the volunteers and resources to hold like a speaker series like we've done in the past. Get a sign-up sheet out there, and I would like to ask that people would sign up for one Sunday this summer to be the host of what I'm going to call this, what did I call it? Summer Sunday Spiritual Soiree. I love good alliteration. That's in the parish hall. And maybe it can just be leading a short meditation. We were talking, somebody was talking about a great meditation they heard earlier, right? And David and I were talking yesterday about meditations. There's no reason that you can't meet on a Sunday, make some coffee, and sit down and meditate together. You could, we also have all the Soul Matters materials to use as a guide this year with spiritual exercises and spiritual questions that you could sit around and consider with each other. You could come just make coffee and talk about church or talk about your lives, whatever. Lead a drum circle, Ed Rooney, I'm looking at you. Come sing some songs together, Tony Ann, I'm looking at you. Have a show and tell. Colin, I'm looking at you. It's up to you what you'd like to do. We'll make sure that you have coffee available to make and that you can get into the building. Doesn't have to be here. In fact, I would prefer it stays out in the parish hall because it gets blistery hot in here in the summertime, and you'll thank me for that. So how would you like to minister to each other this summer? It's up to you. Sign-up sheets in the parish hall, and I hope we can at least fill the 4 Sundays in July, if nothing else. So consider this, okay? So I hope this summer you find multiple and many ways to be renewed. We are so blessed to live where we live, with water and woods in every direction. So take advantage of all that nature has to offer this summer. Make time for yourself. Try to get one good day, please. Schedule some days of doing nothing if you can allow yourself to go where your happiness takes you and let yourself wander. And June is Pride Month, of course, so get out to some of those events. Share yourself with your community. Be a good ally. Next week, our speaker for our Pride service is Sherman Curran, and I look forward to what they will share with us about their experience. We have our Juneteenth celebration and potluck on the 16th, the end of the year wrap up on the 23rd, and on the 30th, of course, is our 40th annual jazz service. It's going to be a huge event, so please come to that and tell people about it, because it's going to be terrific. So may we continue to bring energy to each other as we find it for ourselves. Amen. Now let's wrap up this flower communion part. You know what? We'll just call the kids in after. I'm gonna find the music. There it is. So the words to our final hymn, Cat Stevens' tune you might be familiar with. We will once again have PS 22 leading us on this. Sing along, it's printed in your order of service.
Million
testament to what a great teacher can accomplish. You know, thank God for the great music teachers in my life and for some of the other great teachers, but one great music teacher, boy, can really put the spark into kids, right? You see how much fun they're having and how deep they're singing from their souls? That's a gift. That's a gift right there. All right. So our closing words here. So just before he was put to death in Dachau, Dr. Kapik wrote, reflecting on his own life and the state of his spirit, "It is worthwhile to live and fight courageously for sacred ideals. Oh, blow ye evil winds into my body's fire, my soul you will never unravel. Even though disappointed 1,000 times or fallen in the fight and everything would worthless seem, I have lived amidst eternity. Be grateful, my soul. My life is worth living. He who was pressed from all sides but remained victorious in spirit is welcomed into the choir of heroes. He who overcame the fetters, giving wing to the minds entering into the golden age of victorious." So may it be, my friends. So as you exit down to coffee hour, come on up first and take a flower with you. And I'll grab the rest and I will bring them down so that the kids can take one for themselves too. But as we exit today, make sure you take a flower different from the one that you brought. All right, my church, hold fast. We love you. Stay strong. Live long and prosper. Go in peace. Come on, get some coffee. We'll see you next week.